We
Mm-hmm.
are at stage 10, paragraph page 851. Last headword was as long as.
Mm-hmm.
Newer type of lesson. Okay, so
Okay.
let's start with our revision. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let me just scroll down. Okay, first question. Okay, so what do we exclaim when we think someone's talking nonsense? What do we exclaim when we think someone's talking nonsense? When we think
When we say
someone's talking
someone's
nonsense,
talking
we
nonsense,
exclaim
we explain
nonsense, rubbish,
nonsense,
etc.
rubbish, etc.
Very good. If you were stuck in a very bad traffic jam, would you turn your car engine off to save petrol? If you were stuck in a very bad traffic jam, would you turn your car engine off to save petrol? Yes or no?
No,
If I were stuck
if I were
in a
stuck
very bad
in a very
traffic
bad
jam,
traffic
I
jam,
wouldn't turn
I
my
would
car
turn
engine off
my car engine off
to save petrol.
to save petrol.
Very good. Is the rank of admiral one of the highest ranks in the Navy? Is the rank of admiral one of the highest ranks in the Navy? Yes, the rank
Yes,
of
the
admiral.
rank of
Admiral is
admiral
one of
is
the
one
highest rank
of the highest
in the Navy.
in the
The
Navy.
highest ranks in the
Highest
Navy.
ranks in the Navy.
Very good. Who does a man go to if he wants a suit made especially for him? Who does a man go to if he wants a suit made especially for him? A man
A
goes
man
to a tailor
goes to a
if
tailor
he wants a
if
suit.
he wants to suit
If he wants a
if
suit
he wants to a suit
made especially
made
for him.
especially for him.
Right, and who does a woman go to if she wants clothes made especially for her? And who does
Hmm.
a woman go to if she wants clothes made especially for her? A woman
A
goes
woman
to
goes
a
to
dressmaker
a dressmaker
or designer
or designer
if she wants
if
clothes
she wants to clothes
made especially for
made
her.
especially for her.
Very good. Name some internationally famous clothes designers. Name some internationally famous clothes designers, please. The names
The
of
names
some
of some
internationally famous
internationally famous
clothes designers
clothes
are
designers are
Chanel,
Chanel, Prada,
Issey Miyake,
Mr. Miyake, etc.
etc. Very good. Okay. What do we mean by baggage? What do we mean by baggage? By baggage,
By
we
baggage,
mean
we
suitcases
mean
and
suitcases
other bags
and other
that we
bags
travel with.
that we travel with.
Very good. What's another word for baggage? What's another word for baggage? Another word
Another
for
word
baggage
for
is
baggage
luggage.
is luggage.
Very good. Tell me three common uses of the gerund. Tell me three common uses of the gerund, please. Three common
Three
uses
common
of the
uses
gerund
of a
are
gerund
as a subject
are as a
in
subject
a sentence,
in a sentence,
after a preposition,
after a proposition,
and after certain
and
verbs.
after certain verbs.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. Swimming can be fun.
Swimming can be fun.
I'm fed up with
I'm
listening
fed up with
to that
listening
song all
to
day.
that song all day.
She enjoys dancing.
She enjoys dancing.
Very good. Do some people treat their pets like members of the family? Do some people treat their pets like members of the family? Yes. Some
Yes,
people treat
some people
their
treat
pets like
their pets,
like
their
members
pets like members
of the family.
of their family.
Do you know how to treat someone for shock or someone who's fainted? Do you know how to treat someone for shock or someone who's fainted? Yes or no?
No,
I don't know
I don't
how
know
to treat
how
someone
to treat
for
someone
shock
for
or
shock
someone who's
or
fainted.
someone who's fainted.
Very good. What do you think's the best treatment for a common cold? What do you think's the best treatment for a common cold? I think
I
the
think
best treatment
the best
for
treatment
a common cold
for a common
is
cold is take a medicine
and
and take a rest.
take a rest. Very good. Do you think it's better to give children a fixed weekly allowance or give them money little by little as they need it? Do you think it's better to give children a fixed weekly allowance or give them money little by little as they need it? I think it's
I
better
think
to give
it's
children
better to give children
a fixed
fixed
weekly allowance
weekly allowance
than to give them money
than to give them money
little by little
little by little
as they need it.
as they need it.
Very good. Okay, when we decide how much time we need to travel from one place to another, should we always make allowances for the possibility of traffic jams or public transport problems? When we decide how much time we need to travel from one place to another, should we always make allowances for the possibility of traffic jams or public transport problems? Yes. When we
Yes,
decide
when we decide
how much time we
how
need
much time we
to
need
travel
to
from
travel
one place to
from
another,
one place to
we
another,
should always
we should
make
always
allowances
make
for the
allowances
possibility
for the
of
possibility
traffic jams
of traffic
or
jams
public
or
transport
public
problems.
transport problems.
Very good. Are you against people begging in the streets? Are you against people begging in the streets? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not
I'm
against
not
people
against people
begging in the streets.
begging in the street.
On what kind of occasions do people beg for forgiveness? On what kind of occasions do people beg for forgiveness? The kind of
The kind
occasions
of occasions
people beg
people
for
beg
forgiveness
for for
for
forgiveness
forgiveness
for
are
forgiveness
when
are when
they have done
they have
something
done
seriously wrong.
something seriously wrong.
Do you believe people should always be forgiven for the things they do wrong? Do you believe people should always be forgiven for the things they do wrong? Yes or no?
No,
I don't believe
I don't
people
believe
should
people
always
should
be
always
forgiven
be
for
forgiven
the things
for the
they
things
do wrong.
they do wrong.
Gregor, when we have not quite heard what someone has just said, what do we say? When we have not quite heard what someone has just said, what do we say? When we have not
When we have not
quite heard
quite heard
what someone
what
has
someone
just said,
has just said,
we say, I beg your
we
pardon,
say, I beg your pardon,
or just pardon,
or just pardon,
or sorry.
or sorry.
Very good. Okay, tell me the names of some contagious diseases. Tell me the names of some contagious diseases, please. Some contagious.
Some contagious,
Some common contagious
some common contagious
diseases are
diseases are
flu,
influenza
influenza,
and
COVID
COVID
19.
19.
Very good. Okay, have you ever fired a real gun? Have you ever fired a real gun? Yes or no?
Oh no,
I've never fired
I've never
a real
fired
gun.
a real gun.
Greg, do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I don't
there is
think there is
and always
in always truly
will be
will be
enough room
enough
in the
room
world for
in the world
everybody.
or everybody.
If not, what do you think is the best solution to the problem? If not, what do you think is the best solution to the problem? I think
Hmm. I
the best
think
solution
the best
to the
solution
problem
to the
is
problems is to control population growth.
very good. Name someone who you reckon probably owns a private jet. Name someone who you reckon probably owns a private jet. I reckon
I reckon the president of America
probably owns
probably owns
a private jet.
a private jet.
Very good. Do you think a person needs a sharp mind to work as a detective? Do you think a person needs a sharp mind to work as a detective? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think a person
I think a person
needs a sharp
needs
mind
a sharp
to
mind
work as
to work
a detective.
as a detective.
What do we mean by a sharp pain? What do we mean by a sharp pain? By a sharp pain,
By a sharp
we
pain,
mean a
we
severe
mean
pain
a severe
that
pain
starts suddenly.
that starts suddenly.
Very good. Do you regard buying products online as a simple or complicated process? Do you regard buying on products online as a simple or complicated process? I regard
I
buying
regard
products
buying
online
products online
as a simple
as
process.
a simple
Process.
process.
Very good. What do we mean by raw materials? What do we mean by raw materials? By raw materials,
By raw
we mean
materials, we
materials
mean
in
materials
their natural
in their
or
natural
unprocessed
or
state.
state.
Unprocessed state.
Unprocessed state.
Very good. Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Coal, wood,
Coal,
cotton
wood,
are
cotton
examples
are
of
examples
raw materials.
of raw materials.
Of raw materials.
Of raw materials.
Like, do you ever eat raw meat or vegetables? Do you ever eat raw meat or vegetables? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
I sometimes
I
eat
sometimes
raw
eat
meat or
raw meat
vegetables.
or vegetables.
What do we mean by processed food? What do we mean by processed food? By processed food,
By processed
we
food,
mean food
we mean
that
food
has been
that
changed
has been
from that has been changed
that has been changed
from its raw
from its
or
raw
natural state
or natural
in
state
order to preserve it
in order to preserve
or make it safer
or make it
to
safer
eat.
to eat.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Frozen vegetables.
Frozen vegetables,
Biscuits
biscuits
are examples
are examples
of processed food.
of processed food.
Very good. Why might a baker offer a customer a free sample of a particular type of bread? Why might a baker offer a customer a free sample of a particular type of bread? A baker
A
might
baker
offer a
might
customer
offer our
a free
customers
sample
a free
of a
sample
particular type
of the particular
of bread
time
to
of
let the
bread
customer
to
try
let
it
the customers try
before deciding
before
to
deciding
buy a whole loaf.
to buy a whole
To buy
loaf. To
a
buy
whole loaf.
a whole loaf.
Very good. What's an undergraduate? What's an undergraduate? An undergraduate
An
is a
undergraduate
university
is a
student
university
who
student
has not finished
who has not
their
finished
degree yet.
their degree yet.
And what do we call somebody who has finished the degree successfully? And what do we call somebody who has finished their degree successfully? We call somebody
We call
who
somebody
has finished
who has
their
finished
degree
their
successfully,
degrees
a
successfully
graduate.
a graduate.
Very good. Who is the vainest person you know? Who is the vainest person you know?
Donald Trump
Is the
is the
vainest person
vainest person
I know.
I know.
What does the expression in vain mean? What does the expression in vain mean? The expression
The
in
expression
vain means
in vain means
failing to produce
failing to
a
produce
good result.
a good result.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. The doctor struggled
The doctor
in
struggled
vain to
in
save the
vain
man.
to save the man.
Very good. Is it good for the health to drink the red wine as long as we don't drink too much? Is it good for the health to drink red wine as long as we don't drink too much? Yes, it's good
Yes,
for the health
it's good for the
to
health
drink red wine
to drink red
as long
wine
as we
as
don't
long
drink
as
too much.
we don't drink you
Too
don't
much.
drink too much.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Mhm.
Very good. Okay, repeat. Burn.
Burn,
One more. Burn.
turn,
Burn to.
turn to,
Turn out to be.
turn out to be,
Badly.
badly,
Traffic lights.
traffic lights,
Misjudge.
misjudge.
Very good. Okay, listen. Traffic lights is a noun. For example, here in my country, our traffic lights have the colors red, orange, and green. Red means
Mhm,
stop, green means go, and orange means to stop short or continue
mhm,
only if not able to stop.
mhm,
Turn can be used as a noun or a verb. As a noun, it means a chance to do something. For example,
mhm,
on weekdays, I wash the dishes at home. But on weekends, it's my sister's turn to wash the dishes at home. In
mhm,
some shops, customers have tickets to show whose turn it is to be served. In the cinema, we fall in line to wait for our turn to buy tickets. As a verb, turn means to cause
mhm,
to change. For example, traffic lights turn from stop to go by changing the colors red, orange, green.
mhm, mhm,
Turn to is a phrasal verb. It means to ask for help. For example, when I was at the university, I asked my parents money when I didn't have enough money. Now that I'm married, I ask support from my wife. I turn to my wife when I have problems. The phrasal verb turn out to be means to become someone or something in the end. For example,
mhm,
I thought my friend was honest, but after a month of knowing him, he turned out to be dishonest.
mhm,
Badly is an adverb. It means very much. For example,
mhm,
I really don't have money, but I have to pay my house rent. I need money badly.
mhm,
Misjudge is a verb. To misjudge means to judge wrongly. For example, I thought my teacher was not friendly, but I was wrong. After
Mhm.
weeks of knowing her, I found out that she's a nice person and
Mhm.
very friendly. I misjudged her at first.
Mhm.
Let's practice. In some shops, the customers have to take tickets to show whose turn it is to be served. In some shops, do customers have to take tickets to show whose turn it is to be served? Yes.
Mhm.
In some
Yes.
shops,
In some shops,
customers have to
customers
take
have
tickets
to take
to
tickets
show whose turn
to
it
show
is
the turn it is
to be served.
to be
One
served.
more. Yes. In some
Yes.
shops,
In some shops,
customers have
customers
to take
have
tickets
to take tickets
to show
to
whose
show
turn it is
whose turn it is
to be served.
to be served.
Where in what order do traffic lights turn from stop to go? That is, in what order do the colors change? In what order do the traffic lights turn from stop to go? That is, in what order do the
Mhm.
colors change? Traffic lights
Traffic
turn
lights
from stop to
turn
go
from stop to
by
go
changing from
by
red to
changing
green.
from red to green.
Very good. Why do you turn? Oh, who do you turn to when you're in trouble or need help badly? Who do you turn to when you're in trouble or need help badly? I turn to
Mhm. I turn to
my
hmm?
husband
My
when
husband
I'm in
when
trouble
I'm in trouble.
or need help badly.
I need to help badly.
Very good. Do you find you often misjudge people when you meet them for the first time? Do you find you often misjudge people when you meet them for the first time? Yes or no?
Yes,
I find
I
I
find
often
I've
misjudge
often
people
misjudged
when I
people
meet them for the
when I
first
meet them
time.
for the first time.
Very good. Next repeat Q.
Queue,
Q. Very good. Next, jump the queue.
jump the queue.
Very good. Okay, listen. Queue is a noun. It means
Mm-hmm.
a line of people who are waiting for something. Line queue. For example, when we buy a
Mm-hmm.
ticket in the cinema, we have to
Mm-hmm.
stand on the queue to wait for our
Mm-hmm.
turn. Jump the queue
Oh,
is a phrasal verb that
oh,
means to cut in line. For example,
mm,
there was a long queue in a shop. I saw someone
mm-hmm.
jump the queue in front of the person before me. So I
Mm-hmm.
told him to go back and fall in line at the last person standing behind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's practice. What would you do if you were queuing in a shop and you noticed someone jump the queue in front of you? What would you do if you were queuing in a shop and you noticed someone jump the queue in front of you? If I was
Mm-hmm.
queuing
If I was
in a
queuing
shop and
in the
I
shop,
noticed someone
I noticed someone
jump the queue in front
jump
of
the
me,
queue in front of me,
I'd
I'd uh,
tell
I'd
him
tell him
to fall
to
in line properly.
all in line
Fall. Fall
properly,
in line properly.
fall in line properly,
Very good. Next repeat aloud.
allowed.
Very good. Okay, listen. Aloud is an adverb. It means
Mm-hmm.
in a voice loud enough to be heard. It is
Mm-hmm.
the contrary of to read to oneself or read silently. For example,
Mm-hmm.
I am reading to myself. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading aloud now. Okay, let's practice. What is the contrary of to read to oneself? What is the contrary of to read to oneself? The contrary
Then the
of one
contrary,
more. The contrary
the contrary
of to
of
read
the
to
read
oneself
to
is
oneself
to read aloud.
is to read aloud.
Very good. If was okay, let's repeat. Spot.
Spot.
Very good. Okay, listen. Spot is a noun. It can mean a
Mm-hmm.
mark. For example,
Mm-hmm.
this is a spot. Sometimes when we drink coffee and a small spot fell on our clothes, we wipe it
Mm-hmm.
with a wet clothing to clean it off. Spot can also mean a particular place. For example, I prefer a quiet spot by the sea for a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's practice. If a small spot of coffee fell on your clothes at work, how could you clean it off? If a small
Mm-hmm.
spot of coffee fell on your clothes at work, how could you clean it off? If a small spot
If a
of
small
coffee
spot of
fell
coffee
on my
fell
clothes
on my
at
clothes
work,
at
I
work,
could clean it off
I could clean it off
by
by
wiping
uh,
with wet
by
cloth.
wiping wet clothes,
By wiping with wet cloth.
wiping with clothes.
Wet cloth. Very
What
good.
white
Wet.
clothes?
Wet cloth.
Wet clothes. Oh,
Very
wet
good.
clothes.
Wait, what kind of spot do you prefer for a picnic? What kind of spot do you prefer for a picnic? I prefer
Mm. I
a
prefer
quiet spot.
a
By the
quiet
sea
spot by the
for a
sea
picnic.
for a picnic.
Very good. Okay, now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Okay, our reading is that stage 7, paragraph page 557. And our
Mm-hmm.
last headword was pride. Okay, please start at paragraph page 558. What kind of job do
Mm-hmm.
you think is the dullest?
Okay.
558.
Oh, what about it? What kind of job do you think is the rest? Oh, I think the factory works. Oh, because why? Because you do the same thing every day.
Mhm.
Was it a dull day yesterday? It wasn't a day. It wasn't dull a day
No, it
yesterday.
wasn't a dull day
It it wasn't a dull day yesterday.
yesterday. Very good.
It was a bright sunny day.
Hmm.
A great deal of spend time. Do you spend a great deal of your time doing nothing? No, I don't spend a great deal of my time doing nothing. Why not? Because I have lots of things to do. Personal, individual. Do you think that the personal freedom of the individual is important, or do you think that the individual ought to be made to do the same things and live in the same way as other people? I think that the personal freedom of the individual is important. I think personal.
Yeah, I think that the
I
personal
think
freedom
that the personal
of,
freedom
of the individual
of the
is
individual
important.
is important.
Very good. Next, 559. Fears.
Fierce, fierce lion. What do we mean by a fierce animal? By a fierce animal, we mean a dangerous and wild animal like a lion or a tiger. Not, not less,
Nonetheless,
nonetheless,
nevertheless,
nevertheless. Make a sentence using the word nonetheless. I haven't got very much money, but nonetheless, I will go to the cinema this evening. What's another word for nonetheless? Another word for nonetheless is nevertheless. Had better. Give me an example of had better, please. I had better go now or I'll miss my train.
mhm,
What had we better do if we want to get high marks in an examination? We had better study hard if we want to get high marks in
in
an examination.
very good.
What had what had you better do in
Do
order to avoid catching a cold? I'd better look after myself by wearing thick, warm clothes, etc., in order to avoid catching a cold. Fit out, take back. If you buy clothes and find out later that they don't fit you properly, what do you do? If I buy clothes and find out later that they don't fit you properly, I take them back and try to change them. Would your front door key fit this door? No, my front door key fits this door.
wouldn't fit this door.
Wouldn't fit this door. Oh, why not? Because my front door keys are different size.
Very
Oh,
good. Okay, so we
thank
stop
you
there.